As a librarian, I'm sure you've heard about the book banning movement. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, I think we believe that everyone should have access to a wide variety of titles and to see different experiences in books, children's books and books for adults.
Absolutely, and in addition to being a librarian, I also have a master's degree in history, and I am particularly bothered by folks who don't want to know the actual history of this country and who built it, from Chinese workers on the railroad to enslaved people on plantations. They've built this country. While studying history, a main focus of mine was Civil War history in the U.S., and particularly contributions of enslaved people and free African Americans and their desire to fight for freedom that they didn't have.
The irony is that this book in 2001, a group of parents selected this book as the Parents' Choice Gold Award. Mm-hmm. Oh. And then a year ago, it could take one parent to decide without even reading it. I want that book on the books of challenge or prohibited books. Right. It takes one parent.
Yeah. Well, we saw that with Amanda Gorman with her book in Florida. What was the rationale for pulling this?
Mm-hmm. And it's something that maybe conservative Florida moms are not familiar with, mm-hmm. and maybe they're uncomfortable right. with it.
Right. I wonder, it's almost like people, they can acknowledge that Chinese workers built the railroads, but maybe they don't want to acknowledge the exploitation and abuse and torture.
That part, I think, is the reason why it wound up on the ban list.
I think what I appreciate about a book like this too is the ability to directly relate to people who experienced this as it was happening, and I think that it humanizes, it gives a face and a name to people who were exploited and abused and tortured while building our transportation system.
Yeah, and the book really highlights the danger that young people were in when they were working, to build the railroad, and it doesn't gloss over some of those harder things that people don't want to think about.
Yeah, I wonder how many people have died. History is uncomfortable. If what you're reading makes you smile and makes you happy, then you're not reading the right history.
And I love the way that the book uses the storytelling side of it, that it's like somebody telling the story to their grandchild of what it was like then. I think that really connects it to today, that we all have these connections to history.
Okay. As you have read Coolies, about Chinese working on the U.S. Railroad, do you feel like you have a better understanding of their struggle and their culture?
I do. I think that this really shows what people went through who were doing the work and the dangers they faced, and what they really needed to do to get through it.
I agree. This was a wonderful book that gave me a new perspective.
Well, thank you for coming on Unban Coolies. Thank you for your personal insights and your valuable time. I hope you have a good day.
You as well. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.